All right, so let me be upfront and everything with you guys. I ain't watched any of this game until like the last 7.5 minutes of the game. And I was not going to watch this game. I was not going to watch the game. But I looked at the score and something just said, go watch the last, you know, 7 minutes of the game. And sure enough, Pop was being Pop. I believe the score at halftime, because I was checking in and out looking at the score, was like 68-63 in favor of us. Now, I'm sitting here watching this game, the last 7 minutes, right? And by the way, they have a lead at this point. Um, but I'm watching the game and I'm sitting here and I'm just like, okay, Murray pick and roll, Jakob Pertl, penetration, easy bucket. Okay. Come down the floor again, pick and roll, same thing. Okay. Pick and roll. Okay. Pick and roll, pick and roll, pick and roll. Literally, 1-5 pick and roll the entire fucking time. And I know I was just having this discussion, like, I want to say it was like earlier today, it may have been yesterday, but I know I was just having this discussion where I said something along the lines of our team is not going to be able to handle pick and rolls. Because I think there's a conversation about Lonzo and Io. And Io is good, but he's not experienced, nor is he as athletic and explosive or smart and crafty as Caruso and Zoe are, right? And even still, those guys still lose to some faster defenders here and there occasionally. But the thing about those guys, and this is one of the let me start with Zoe here, and then I'm gonna get back to the central point. One of the things that separates Zoe from the other guys defensively is Zoe has the athletic ability and the length. So there's certain plays that Caruso and Io can't get back in that Zoe could get back in just through his genetics. Purely the fact that he's 6'6" with like a 6'9", 6'10" wingspan or something like that allows him, and the jumping ability he has, allows him to get back into plays that like normal players can't. And so we've saw instances this year where Zoe will get, pick and roll, he's fighting to get back into the play, and he'll come up there, he'll block a shot. Stuff like that. Just to give you an example, okay? Caruso will get into you physically and make you take the path you don't want to take in the pick and roll. Even if he's still caught up in it, it still gets him time to get back into the play. And also, both of this, even with them doing this, all this stuff helps Vooch. Io is still learning NBA game, NBA defense, and communication on D, which is an issue with this team in general, um, outside of when Zoe and Caruso are in the game because they know how to fucking communicate and position themselves. But that's still something Io is learning to do at the NBA level. So I'm sitting here watching this pick and roll, and it's not just Io. Io is the one. He's the point guard right now, but it's not just him getting abused. It's everybody else is legit getting abused. Okay, but I'm watching this and I'm just like, Pop did the download. The download was complete. He's like, okay, these punk ass motherfuckers, they can't stop a fucking pick and roll. Run this shit down their throat and just kill them. And that's all it was. And one of the issues I had with this team early this year is they allow dribble penetration too much. Like that drop coverage that they're running with Vooch, even if you got Lonzo Caruso, I still feel like people get into the paint way too much. Way more than they should. But this shit gets compounded when you got Murray, who's just getting into the paint and is just hitting all kinds of finishes over Vooch and anyone else in his way. At that point, it's just like this is pathetic. And pick and roll defense has been an issue all year. And you guys can reference any of the videos that I placed on this channel where I mentioned, the worst setup for a pick and roll we can have is DeRozan and Vooch. I've outlined that enough on this channel. I'm not going to beat you over the head with it. But I'm just saying, look at the bullshit. You literally got beat by pick and roll. Every fucking body in the league runs pick and roll. But they basically said, this is our offense, pick and roll, 1-5 pick and roll, take the matchup, take the best available shot. And all DeJounte Murray had to do was just be patient, and it opened up. And if it didn't open up for him, Jakob Poeltl got a shot, or Derek White got a shot, or somebody else on the Spurs got a pretty good look at a shot. I think Keldon Johnson got a 3. It's really ridiculous. I'm not even going to talk about the fact that Vooch fouled a 3-point shooter, late in the game. He fouled Keldon Johnson, who had missed the shot. He fouled him, and Keldon Johnson got to go and hit free throws, and I believe he hit all 3. I'm not going to talk about that. But this is my problem. And I know a lot of people are going to take issue with this. Because I also saw DeRozan fuck up on coverage and lose a guy. But I'm a little less concerned about that right now. This team has a clear ceiling on defense that will prevent them from being a title contender. Okay? Take out Zoe, take out Caruso. This is the skeleton of the team without those two. It is not to say that the team is not good, because clearly they're still a good team. But this is the problem. They don't lose this game with Caruso and or Zoe. If they got both and they're fully healthy, they're not losing this game. They will not lose this game with those two. Without them, this team put up over 124 points. It's probably more around 127 right now. The game was still going on. It was still like 45 seconds left as Zach turned over the ball. But that's another topic of discussion. Zach's, stupidity with the ball, because it seemed like him and them careless turnovers. But the topic for another day. $120+ points was hung on the Bulls defense by the San Antonio Spurs. You can have all your firepower that you want. Kobe gave you an efficient night shooting the ball. 18 points. Zach LaVine, a little less efficient. Well, at least at first when I checked, but he's probably more efficient now because he had hit a few shots. So it probably looks a little bit better. He's probably looking more like 10 or 20 instead of 7 or 17, which is where he was when I started watching. Matter of fact, he was still on the bench when I started watching. But he's going to give you a little 20 points too. And DeRozan is going to give you his efficient 30+ points, right? Okay, cool. Vooch, I think, even gave you like 17 points, all right? So I'm not even keeping track, but that's got to be somewhere around 90 points collectively. You got 90 points from them, and you still lost the game. Neither of those two, Zach and DeRozan, and let's throw Vooch in, neither of the big three play defense at an adequate level to where it can sustain the type of winning you need in the postseason. Okay? This is partially why I want DeRozan gone. It's not a matter of DeRozan's talent. DeRozan is supremely talented. And like I said, I've defended him when he was in Toronto and people were talking bad about him. I knew how good DeRozan is. It is not. I'm not saying any of this to slander DeRozan. But to me, I think I could get Zach to play average defense. Vooch and DeRozan, I can't do shit for them but try to mask their weaknesses. And what do I always say? You cannot win games, you cannot win chips when you have more than 4 guys on the court that don't play defense. What do I mean? The Warriors will play, if you want to talk about their Hamptons 5 lineup, the only person you could argue out there that doesn't play defense, one-on-one defense at the highest level, is Steph. Okay? They have only one. Almost every championship team, their closing and starting lineup has one guy, maybe at most, that can't play defense, which you can kind of cover for. The Bulls have too many guys that will be on the court that cannot play defense. DeRozan and Vooch. Problems. And it's gotten to the point now where they don't even respect the fact that Io is in front of Garden because they're going to say, okay, he's a rookie. We're going to punish him for being a rookie. He doesn't have experience. Not NBA level experience. He doesn't know the little tricks of the trade. Go out there and give it to him. Run that pick and roll down their throat. Vooch is not a rim protector. He is not stepping up to protect the paint. He is too slow-footed to recover on Jakob. Give them work. And that's what they did. Ended up having to take Javonte Green out to try to get something with Kobe White. Kobe White has effort, but he's still not good defensively. So essentially, you got Io out there surrounded by 4 guys that's not playing defense. When defense is the fucking problem. This team is so bad defensively without Caruso. Like, I mean, this team is atrociously bad without those two. But again, there will be plenty of nights where DeRozan and Zach will just have too much fucking firepower, and they will just win off of sheer talent. But I'm sorry, this is not sustained winning. I could go in on so much here. I really could. But I'm not. At this point, you guys watched the game. You know what you saw. Some of the stuff I mentioned the other day in my video. But you know what you fucking saw. I really shouldn't need to reiterate this. But this is I hate that I'm right. I hate that I'm right. Because, and I think I speak for all of us here, We all want the Bulls to be the best team in the league. But our best at the end of the day just won't be good enough. Look, I get it. DeRozan put up 35 points or so, something like that, whatever. I would much rather DeRozan give us 21, 22 points a game and play very good defense versus what he's doing now. Vooch, he's already doing less, and he's still not giving us better defense. Well, he's giving you better defense than he's done in the past, which should tell you how bad his defense has been. But it's simply not enough. And Zach LaVine needs a team around him where everybody else is playing defense, so he has to play defense. Because, and I understand he's injured or he's not 100%, but Zach is still doing the same shit he was doing before he got hurt. And as long as him and DeRozan are not going to lock in on the defensive end, and it's just going to leave that exclusively for the others, it is not going to lead this team anywhere. And honestly, depending on the matchup, this team could go home in the first round. Anyways, I'm done. I'm done. I don't want to call this a rant because to me it don't have rant energy, but this shit irritates the crap out of me, man. Like I hate watching that shit. Like I'm so glad I didn't watch the entirety of the game, and I get it. You know they won the first quarter, they were winning at half. Adjustments are made. Pop said, "Fuck you, good night." I'm so glad I didn't watch this shit because I would have been pissed off. I'm pissed off at only the last 7 minutes and 34 seconds of the fucking game. If you watched the game and you got pissed off, let me know in the comment section. Y'all have a good night. Peace.